welcome to Real Opinions, and today I'm going to be reviewing John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. So, for a little bit of context, I think I've reviewed every John Wick film on this channel so far, and if I remember correctly, my take on the first film was that it was a solid, slightly above average action film that was elevated by the balletic quality of the fight scenes, but other than that, it was pretty generic. And it came out around the same time as The Raid 2, and I remember thinking, like, yeah, this is good, everyone's right, this film is good, but it's no The Raid 2, like, The Raid 2 was on another level. Then John Wick 2 came out a couple of years later, and I thought, now this is more like it, it's getting towards that Raid level of quality, and I really enjoyed it, and it made me revisit the first one, which I'm a bit more affectionate for than I was at the time, but I think I gave the first one a 7, and I gave the second one an 8. So that gives you I might have given the second one a 9, actually. But anyway, that gives you a general impression of where I am with this franchise. I like it quite a bit. And the third film, I thought it was fucking excellent. I don't know if that's a controversial view. I haven't really read too much about it because I wanted to go in cold. But I thought this film was absolutely stunning. I thought that if I said after the first film, good but not quite The Raid, I think this film reaches Raid levels of excellence. I truly, truly mean that. So the story picks up immediately after John Wick Chapter 2, where our hero has killed someone in the Continental Hotel, which is against, like, their assassin rules, and that makes him excommunicado, which means that every other assassin in this, like, tight-knit community is free to kill him for a hefty bounty. And so the basic premise of the film is every other assassin is after John Wick and he's got to survive, which is a really, really great, simple premise used to string along some of the most impressive action sequences that I've ever seen in an American movie. They've definitely taken a greater level of inspiration from, I think, Asian cinema this time around, because the fight sequences are more martial arts heavy. They're far more violent. Like, in the other ones, people get shot, there's a bit of blood, a couple of headshots, but they're fairly... They're not tame, but they're never, like, gory. Whereas in this film, like, there's some fucking brutal stuff. People getting stabbed in the eyes, people getting sliced and their tendons getting ripped off. It was great. So I think that's one way they've taken inspiration from, like, Asian cinema. And they've also taken inspiration in terms of, I feel like a lot of the characters and all of the different factions and things feel like they could have come from, like, a John Woo film. It's a hard film to talk about without just gushing about the set pieces, but I think that's the most important thing about John Wick 3 is the set pieces. And each one of them here is astonishing. I think the one in the knife shop was probably the highlight for me. But it's a testament to the quality of the action in this film that I said I think. Because in any other film, that would have been the highlight without a shadow of a doubt. Whereas here, I was thinking, yeah, that one was pretty good too. And that one was really good. There's an incredible motorcycle chase. There's this bit in the knife store, like I said. An improvisational fight where he's using his environment to his advantage. It's better than anything in, like, Jason Bourne. There's this, like, really beautiful, elegant stealth attack montage that intercuts with a ballet performance. There's this really great bit that's set in the dark with, like, fluorescent green lighting that was just... Oh, it's so good. It's all so good. There's the bit with the dogs. The horse bit. The horses. I loved the bit with the horses. And normally horse action sequences are the worst action sequences normally, but here it was fucking brilliant. So, yeah, my basic takeaway of this film was it's just a rapid succession of action sequences that are all of the highest caliber. And it is a rapid succession of action sequences. It has the pacing and the structure of something like The First Raid or Fury Road, where it's just action scene, action scene, action scene, action scene, action scene. And when you have a talking scene, it's doing the bare minimum to get you to the next action scene. And that was a quality that I really, really appreciated about the film. The quality of the stunt work and the choreography with these films gets better each time. And again, that's saying something, because it was pretty damn good in the first film. But with each one, they find new ways to top themselves. And in this film, it was mesmerizing. There were action sequences where I was just transfixed and could not look away. and it's all so fast, and it's all so perfectly done. And you can tell that Keanu Reeves is doing a lot of it himself, because they do these nice medium shots where it's lit properly, it's not cutting, they last for a long period of time, and you can see, oh, that's Keanu Reeves, he's learnt this choreography, and he's doing this, he's getting thrown through windows. They just do so much right in this film that most action films in the modern era get wrong. They for a start, like I said, they show things clearly and coherently. It's not shaky cam, jump cut bullshit. They make sure that the main character feels like he's in peril and like he's getting hurt, which is, again, something a lot of contemporary action films forget to do. They show you the characters reloading. They make such a point of John Wick reloading his guns all the time, which is a pet peeve of mine, because I really hate it when action heroes feel like they have unlimited magazines that they can just fire endlessly. But here he's reloading, and he's getting hurt, and it's so good. It's so good. And every action scene is different as well. It's not repetitive. It's not just the gung fu stuff you've seen in John Wick before. And the thing is, even when you're not in the action sequences, I was really enjoying it, because another thing that the John Wick films have continued to build upon is their world and their lore. In the first film, they kind of hinted it a little, like John Wick's got this past where he's like a legend amongst the assassin community, and he's got shared history with various characters, but they only kind of touch on it. The second film expanded on that, started showing you the rules of this world a little more, the way that they operate. And the third film takes that even further and starts showing you like the people that are on top of the table, that are in charge of the whole thing, and it shows you like how they punish people who break the rules and all this stuff, and it's great, and it leads to some quite well executed, well judged moments of black comedy as well. One of the most exhilarating action films I've seen in a long time. And I know I keep saying that recently, because I said it about The Night Comes for Us, and I said it about Mission Impossible Fallout, but I don't know, I just feel like action films are starting to get good again after that era of like Takens and Expendables. Like, I think they're getting back on track, and this film is definitely a testament to that. If this is my favourite film at the end of the year, I'll be happy.